So I've built a good amount of PCs in the past, and I've gone through a good amount of PC cases. There are plenty of pros and cons for each case, and today we'll be looking at the Luca L70 chassis by TRYX. Little background on TRYX. You've probably seen their first product launch, the AIO with a really nice curved screen. They launched that this year and slowly been thriving ever since then, and now they have a new case. They were kind enough to send over the Panorama and the Luca L70. That's what we'll be reviewing today, mainly the case. There's other video reviews on that Panorama AIO, so let's just focus on the case this video. But John, what do you do with all these PCs? So I have one for myself, obviously, and then the rest I honestly just build for my family and my friends. This one in particular is actually for a dear friend of mine that I made this year, and he needs to play the new Call of Duty and Warzone, which means this PC has to handle graphic intensive gameplay. It needs to have enough hard drive space, and best of all, it needs to look really good because that's what I do. John makes really good looking PCs. Starting off with the first shout out, Gigabyte Aorus. Thank you so much for sending over the following parts. Aorus Elite AX ICE motherboard, Z790. The Gigabyte Eagle OST ICE RTX 4060. The power supply, Aorus Elite P1000 ICE Platinum certified. And the second shout out would be to Adata or XPG. Personally, my favorite RAM 6 that I'd use in like every single build going forward because the price to performance is amazing. It has RGB, which adds to the aesthetics. And if you're unfamiliar with that brand, check them out. Link in bio. And last shout out to my boy, Rillo TV. Thank you for supplying the i9-14900K processor. Now, the person I'm building this for is actually Papa Microsoft. And if you don't know what I just said, or if you don't know that reference, check out the video link around here and you'll probably know that reference after this. Anyways, let's get to it. First impressions of the Luca L70. It's huge. When I'm a little more confident and I have a little more experience custom looping PCs, I will definitely take advantage of all the interior space in these big chassis PCs. But for now, we'll work with what we got, and since we do have the Panorama AIO, we can't custom loop this PC. Or we can, but you know what I mean. Both panels are easy to take off. The back side of the PC where the cable management goes, there's two flaps, and a huge game changer about this PC case is that it is fully modular. Modular how? Well, you can see the power supply chamber on the top. It can actually stay there, or you can move it to the bottom of the case. And yes, the motherboard bay may be moved around as well, which makes it fully modular. So the nice thing about the Luca L70 is that it is customizable. Possibilities are endless when it comes to fully modular cases like this. And honestly, I haven't seen any cases that have that feature, so that's kind of cool. Also, since the case came like this, I personally don't want to change it up. I haven't built a PC with a power supply chamber being on top of the motherboard, so I'm quite curious to find out how that goes. So I'm going to keep it as is, and then we'll just continue with the build. So after building in this case, here are my pros and cons. The pros that I would like to highlight: it was super easy to install everything. There's so much space for your hands and your fingers to get into like the crevices, so there wasn't any struggle really installing anything. Super easy to manage. Yes, I could have easily managed the cables a lot better, but what are these two flaps for? I mean, they're really just for covering the cable management, right? But aside from it being super spacious, it actually looks really good. So if you compare the aesthetics of this PC chassis to the others, this one in itself has plenty of details. Can you imagine manufacturing thousands of units of this case? It's a beautiful case. It comes in black and white, and it has an optional vertical GPU mount. Now, the cons of this build, besides being a little nitpicky, I'm actually leaning towards this being a personal problem. So here are my personal problem opinion. I had to watch another review video on this, find out where the power button was. And I kid you not, I knew it was this little corner section thing. It just wouldn't press, or at least it wasn't like an action button or anything like that. You have to put pressure on the top right corner of the square and it activates. The button was kind of stiff, so a softer touch button or a softer action button would have been a lot better in my opinion. So again, that sounds more of a personal problem or an opinion rather than a con of this PC case. But anyways, another feature that really bugged me during the building process was that front glass panel flaps just like this. Now, you can't remove it. I mean, I'm sure you can if you really have the tools, but common builders such as me, we're not gonna go through all that trouble just to do that. So during the building process, it was kind of just flapping there, opening randomly, and it wasn't just nice and snug when I was like flipping the PC case around and stuff like that. So like I said, it's glass, so you do have to be very careful not to shatter it. So that's also another con about that, is that since it is a glass panel, shouldn't it sit a little more snug than it being loose? Another thing about the PC is that it is huge, so it does get heavy. But you can invest in like a turntable, which makes things so much easier. So if you're a PC builder and you do this quite often, get a turntable. Last thing isn't even about the case. It's actually about the AIO fans. Do you see how ugly this is? This bothers me entirely because nowadays, most companies have reversible fans, which means you don't have to have that ugly backside of the fan that has that X. And since TRYX was going for like a daisy chain tech, the wires are kind of just sitting there and it's exposed. There's no way to hide it. It's just sitting there looking ugly. It's exposed, being an eyesore to the overall build. TRYX either invest in reversible fan blades or do a better job with the daisy chain tech. Both preferably, actually. Final thoughts of this case. I like it. For the first chassis in the Luca line, I cannot wait what TRYX has in store for the future. It's beautiful, it has extra amenities for everybody, but again, I feel like it's roughly a $200+ case. I don't know the exact price range, but it does feel a lot more premium than other cases on the line with a price range similar to that. And again, once I polish my skills for custom looping, I do want to custom loop in this build particularly because it is fully modular. I'll work on this case again. TRYX, if you want to work together again on the custom loop this time, let me know. I would love to work together again. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification for similar videos like this. Until the next PC build, see ya.